Tell him, King Leo, you silly boy.
So, welcome to episode 23 of The Lion's Den. And today we have Abriyah Rhodes back. Welcome back to The Lion's Den. So how you been?
Fine. It's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. So since last time you've been here, has anything changed? Did you shorten down your your DNF list?
It might be actually bigger because I did start a new anime. I read the manga first. The manga is very good. It's Sins to Be a Hero, but the anime is just, it's not,
It does. It's not. It doesn't really correlate to the manga at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I mean, a lot of times I'm okay with that because a lot of animes deviate from the manga. But, like, the structure of the manga was so good that you kind of can't, like, look away from the fact that the anime is so different.
Yeah. A lot of shows, like, for example, like, just off the top of my head, I could think of, like, Seven Deadly Sins. They deviated a lot from the manga. And granted, like with a lot of shows, they start with the manga first, and then they adapt it into an anime. You would think that they would keep it all cohesive. But I know like a lot of things from Seven Deadly Sins, like with the story, it got changed. And like a lot of things with the power system, it got changed. With like Meliodas, for example, he was stronger in the manga than he was in the show.
Yeah.
And then so like it would be like hard with like some debates or even like scaling. It would be like, oh, like Meliodas can do this or his powers are like this, but in real time, I mean, he can do it in the manga, but not really in the show. So like for people that don't like they anime only it's really hard to kind of talk about like those things because if you like we talked about last time, the manga elitist people, they only read the manga, so like it's kind of like I don't know. I feel like the manga, I guess it fleshes out the story a lot more than the anime would.
I mean, I kind of give a lot of animators grace too because I know a lot of things that are portrayed in a manga, sometimes it's not translatable when you're actually animating. And some things just work better in animation than they do in actual physical writing. So I'm understanding of that, but like it comes a point where you kind of look at it and you're like, is it because of the fact that it's not animatable, or like did they actually just change this kind of story completely just to fit into what they wanted the anime to be? And that's kind of where I found myself with Sins to Be a Hero. It's almost like, not that they changed the plot completely, but like they kind of changed the structure completely of the original story. So
yeah, I still have to watch Sins to Be a Hero, along with like a lot of other things. But I do have one question I want to ask about a hot take that you had gave us last time, because a lot of people, they had commented on it, and a lot of people didn't really agree with it. So I'm just curious, do you still feel like Hisoka, Hunter x Hunter would be the same if Hisoka like never existed in it?
I mean, originally I did feel that way. I won't say that I've necessarily completely changed my mind because Hisoka was instrumental in a lot of Gon and Killua's like progression as hunters. But as a character alone, like as a standalone character, I don't think that the absence of him in the anime would have like impacted it as much as like people think.
Yeah.
I guess it just, the reason that I say it's kind of complicated is because he was instrumental in a lot of like the background situations that they found themselves in, because he kind of just basically screwed a lot of people over, and then later down the line Gon and Killua like encountered those people and kind of had to pick up the pieces of him like screwing people over essentially. But I feel like they still would have progressed and got stronger whether they had Hisoka in it or not.
Yeah, that's fair. I do feel like Hisoka, as far I feel like he was kind of that point that did push them to get stronger. Cause like with the when they fought at the Heavens Arena, where they couldn't, like I stated before, they couldn't get past them until they had trained and had better learned how to use their nin.
Right.
But I do feel like for the story's progression that of course that would have happened anyway, because even if Hisoka wasn't there, it would have been somebody else that was still too strong for them to get through. So I do still see where you're coming from. So since we're on the topic of villains, I do want to ask you this: who is your favorite anime villain, like of all time, or who do you think is the greatest anime villain of all time?
Oh my gosh. The greatest anime villain? Unfortunately, it might be Muzan, because he was the most consistent villain, I feel like. He never deviated from the original plan. Like, he knew what he wanted. He was going to get it.
Yeah.
Regardless.
That's fair. I don't know. For me, I don't know. It's a couple. I want to say Madara as the greatest anime villain of all time, because he got screwed by the plot, like very bad. That's like one of the main reasons why I can't really. I personally don't really put Naruto in like my top 5. It's because how bad, bro. It's just because how bad they did him like that. Because you can't tell, and that's what pissed me off about. Since we're on the conversation about Hunter x Hunter too, that's pissed me off about Hunter x Hunter as well.
What about
Kurapika? Bro. There's no way you're gonna tell me that Evogan lost to this nigga with some freaking chains after he was piecing up 3 of the he was as a handicap, a 3-on-1 with 3 of the best hunters in the Hunter Association, and this nigga Kurapika just comes out of nowhere and just packs him out, and then he has to disrespect him with the shovel. I don't know, and that's the same thing that kind of happened with Madara with the whole Black Zetsu, and he stabbed him through, and he just died. But the nigga packing out the whole Shinobi Alliance, but Black Zetsu just sneaks him and he dies.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like for me that it would be Madara. I don't know. He just, cause I feel like out of most anime villains that I've seen, he's probably the only one that I saw that has actually won. But then the plot, they had to stop him because of the story.
Yeah. Because
the story wouldn't have been able to continue without him dying, obviously. Yeah. But also, how do you feel about like show remakes versus the original?
Like animes or just shows in general?
In general, just anime, cartoons, movies, just in general.
Oh my goodness, it's complicated because it's like it's nice to see if it's done well and in good taste. I don't mind it, but some stuff it doesn't need to be remade. It's because I feel like we're getting to a point where like people are starting to run out of original ideas, so they feel like remaking something is just gonna give them like notoriety, like the Harry Potter thing.
Oh yeah, I did see the Harry Potter remake. Yeah, I saw that.
We don't need a remake of Harry Potter. The original was peak. The original was good enough. Now y'all want to remake it with these kids that I don't know, that I'm never gonna know. Yeah, it's just I feel like we need more original ideas because that is kind of the basis of like people who enjoy like I guess you could say oddball content, like anime and stuff like that, things that are out of the general norm, is those original ideas that nobody came up with before. And we're kind of getting away from that and is impacting the community a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I do. Now I will say, because I like on Twitter and Instagram, everybody like they're ready for the Harry Potter remake, but because I think it'll be a series this time instead of the movies. I think it's gonna be like a series, kind of like how they did the Percy Jackson. So I don't. Dang, I don't know. People, I mean, they want it, but I can see what you mean because I do kind of feel like that kind of, I don't want to say like really disrespects, but I kind of feel like it downplays the original. Because kind of like when you finish the story already and then now you're bringing it back in like a different light, I guess, it kind of kills the originality of it. Because even like from like terms of like anime with like shows getting rebooted, like it's cool to see a show come back with different animation, but I don't want to see a show get completely remade like with a whole new plot, like different. Because that's what pissed me off with Fairy Tail and Eden Zero. Even though Eden Zero is this whole thing, like it's got pieces of Fairy Tail in it. It's actually just stupid. The plot's dumb and it makes no sense. But yeah, I do see. But I don't know. So you're not gonna watch the Harry Potter remake? You're not gonna look at it? You're not gonna give it a chance?
That's a task for another soldier, not for me. It's just like when something is like, it's just done very well. Like the Harry Potter franchise has carried on for like 20, 30 years.
Right.
Like y'all are trying to, you're messing up the program. Like you're trying to be bigger than the program.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
I don't see why a remake was needed. I mean, maybe there was some type of remake needed, as felt by like whatever producer or whoever is creating the new rendition of it. But yeah, you can't really do better than the classic, I guess.
Yeah, I do feel that. Yeah, especially with movies. With because I was talking, I think Tinsley about this the other day about and I think I posted a video about it too, about old gen anime versus new gen anime and kind of like like original movies versus like sequels and like trilogies and stuff like that. The original never, like the second one, third one, or fourth one never really hits like the original.
That is true.
And even like the same with shows, because we were talking about Umbrella Academy, about how season 1 kinda was the peak of it. Like season 1 and 2 were the peak, and then when it just went off into like 3 and like 4, they just kind of lost the plot. And I kind of feel like when people, like when shows come out and they do good, or when just like any franchise does good, people just try to milk it for as much as it can get. And like the quality of the show from like season 1, you know, you got to hook people. So you're going to make this obviously like the best this has ever been. But it's kind of like you lose sight of that quality when you're making the rest of it, because it's like you already got an audience and a fan base for it. So you're just going to do something else. And you're just going to think like, oh, they're going to like it anyway because they like the first one. So they're just going to be invested. So how do you kind of feel about that?
I think it gets to a point where like you said, like since the audience is already invested, like they kind of feel like they're just going to buy it anyway. So it kind of brings into question, like at what point are you just kind of manipulating your audience into just becoming consumers instead of like putting out something that you actually are passionate about and enjoy.
Right.
Which is kind of the heart of creating something, and that's kind of like at its core, that's where the writers are losing the heart to write. They're not really in it anymore for the love of the game. Right. They just.
It's kind of. Do you kind of feel like it's just like they're just doing it for a paycheck, or they're kind of just doing it just because they have to?
I think so. It's because like. I'm gonna bring up Sinners. Like that was so original. Like it literally was like cinematic genius.
Yeah,
like because it was so original and like just the composition of it. It was just amazing. Like it had to come from like the mind of someone who was passionate about their work. Right. And like the things that are coming out now, people are not really passionate about the things they're putting out. They're trying to, they're gauging what people already consume, and they're making it based off of that. Right. No, there's no movie out like Sinners.
Exactly.
So like when you just compare that to like everything else that's coming out right now, it's really like, not even are we challenging the writers, but like, are we kind of holding the writers accountable for what we're consuming? And the unfortunate part about it is that most people are just going to consume it no matter what because they support the creator.
Right.
And that kind of pulls us a little bit further and further away from the originality that we started with.
Right. I know. I completely, 1,000%, I completely agree. Sinners, out of 25, even though people say, oh, there wasn't anything good that came out like that, Sinners was an original idea. It was a peak idea. And I do feel like they got hoed at the Oscars. I still feel like they got hoed at the Oscars because there's no way you're going to tell me that you would rather watch Leonardo DiCaprio run around in a bathrobe doing basically a Taken rather than watching just a buttload of other actors that you may know about or you might not know about in an original idea directed by an amazing director. Like, not saying that the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio was in, it wasn't directed amazingly or beautifully, but it's just kind of like you can't bypass the originality of it.
Yeah.
Because like every battle after another or after the next, whatever the name of the movie was, to be fair, we have seen movies like this before. Because like I said, like Liam Neeson, like we've seen Taken or like I guess Die Hard maybe. Even like just movie like the same. We've seen the same thing. Like somebody takes like your family member or somebody you have to go and find out like the Equalizer. So, like we've seen stuff like this before.
Yeah.
But Sinners, we've never seen like just a concept kind of like that. And because I was even saying like afterwards I needed a second one, but then I had to think about it and I was like, well, really, you don't need a second one. Because I feel like if we got a second one, it would like the beauty of it would be gone because one-offs. If a one-off is done right, which Sinners was a one-off that was done amazing, you don't really need anything else because it kind of leads into the fans giving their theories and giving wonder to their imagination to kind of fill in things that they might feel like that's missing, rather than the director or feeling like they have to fill in what's missing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I do feel like for a lot of things, we kind of just like, as people, we kind of just take it rather than like you said, holding the writers accountable. And that's also going to go into my next question, because do you feel like anime writers or just anime in general would ever take over like Hollywood level writing or scripts or like movies?
I really don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
And not because it couldn't, but I just think as a concept, like, it's kind of like everything else that's created by at least in America, what is perceived as minorities. Like, it's fun for a short time,
right,
but we got to go back to the originals, essentially, especially in like larger media. Like, we can enjoy seeing minorities and enjoying what they have to offer, but at the end of the day, like, we're gonna go back to that like old-fashioned American composition. Like, I don't think that America as a whole can really tolerate like things that aren't created like the way that they're used to for a very long time. So they kind of just, it's kind of just like that sensationalization effect, like where something just explodes and it's new and it's different, even though it's not new and different to like smaller communities, and it's something that they just want to be a part of and grab a hold of, and then it's no longer interesting and it's just kind of pushed to the back burner.
Right. I do agree, but I also do feel like that America is becoming more like common to the fact of like anime, like not specifically taking over Hollywood, but at least maybe opening up the door for anime to step its way in. Because I do remember where when the Demon Slayer, when Mugen Train came out in Infinity Castle, there were talks about it being nominated for Oscars, or being able to be put into the nominations for Oscars because of just how good it did at the box office. But I do also agree with you at the fact that, yeah, America, they're probably not something that they're not inherently used to. They're not going to just like fully allow it to just come in and like full blown take over. Because I guess like, especially like with Western like movies or like, I don't really know how to say it, just like, I guess Americanized movies, like kind of, yeah, people are always going to want to see that, like rather than seeing like, especially with how many people that do like anime still, but kind of there's still like that same number of people that don't really understand it. So they're still going to be looking for that type of content that they do understand, or that type of content that they do still want to see.
Yeah.
So about anime openings, are you a person that kind of like, do you like skip them, or is there like a specific thing that like an anime opening does for you before like you watch the show?
I feel like very rarely do I like. I mean, I will say that I do let the opening play for the first whole season of an anime. After that, I'd be skipping it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do like the fact that there's like actual composition and music and things that go into making an intro, and that's why I will watch it through the first season, because I do like to appreciate the art of an anime as a whole. But sometimes I just gotta
You're better than me.
Get right to
I
it.
watch it for like the first 3 episodes and then I start skipping it because I want to get to the episode. Because like, it's not that I don't enjoy the opening, but it's kind of like the song kind of just gets repetitive.
Yeah.
And I kind of just start just wanting to like watch the show, because it's kind of like I'll watch it for the first episode and then I'll watch for maybe like the next 2. It also depends on how good the opening is for me personally, but then I'll also watch it for the last episode of that season. If the opening switches, I'll go back to the episode and I'll watch that old opening. Because for Black Clover, I did that a lot, because Black Clover has like 10 different openings for like season 1. Like, it's crazy. Probably not that many, but that's just like, it's just a lot. Like, they switch openings so much between the different, I think they're called books or chapters or something. But they switch openings between so many of the books or chapters of the anime that it's just kind of like you hear one opening and then like literally the next episode it's a new one, and I'm just like, we didn't even get used to the other one yet. But yeah, I feel that. Like, but I do skip them. I don't really. Cause I mean, I know it's a big part of it, but I just kind of want to get to the information too, cause I wanna watch the show. I want to see the show. So what do you feel like is the worst anime trope, like, ever?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
What you got?
I feel like it's the sibling love trope. I hate that trope so much.
I don't know. They use that one. They use that one a lot in everything, bro. Yeah, just like the sibling love trope, like kind of like getting into like where it's always like the brother and sister kind of thing, or like the like actual like they're trying to make it in like a relationship kind of way.
I guess it's more like, typically it's like one sibling is kind of obsessed romantically with the other one. I really hate that trope. They have it really heavily in Psyche. Okay.
Yeah,
they have it in what is that anime?
Which one?
They have it kind of in Demon Slayer a tiny bit.
Oh no, it's heavy indeed. Nah,
yeah.
Okay.
It's because it's ignorable because it's not a part of the main plot, but
no, it's heavy in Demon Slayer.
Yeah. It's just
That
They
nigga
don't
be-
need to be in the world.
That nigga be.
There are
protecting them
40,000
blocks.
people that live here.
Yeah,
There's someone else out there for you.
yeah, I do that.
It's not your brother.
Nah, that trope is heavy. I never really fully understood like why they do that. Cause I'll even tell you in Fire Force and in Black Clover is pretty heavy too. Cause if you look at Black Clover, Asta, him and they were like raised up in the church with like Sister Lily and like the pastor. So Sister Lily was kind of low key raised up as his older sister.
Yeah.
But he kind of has, like, she's not his actual sister, but still, it's kind of like that connection is there. And, like, he actually has, like, love and, like, a relationship for her. Like, he has, like, an affectionate, feelings for her. So it's kind of like, yeah. And it's really, like, heavy, like, in every, like, episode, like, he's trying to tell her, like, it's just, but.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, you look like that trope. You look like you're just tired.
We won't talk about Vampire Night because.
Yeah, I remember you told.
Just put that in the trash.
That actually goes. Yeah, that would go into my next question. So, do you feel like Vampire Night is an anime that we should just erase from existence as a whole?
Yes.
It's really that bad?
It's just too much. Like, I was in middle school reading Vampire Night, and then I started watching it, and it was just. Oh my gosh. It's too. The things that I've seen.
Vampire Night is
It's
even
just-
worse than other shows.
I won't say it's worse than other shows. There are definitely shows worse than Vampire Night, but
Yeah.
Vampire Night is just.
Did you ever watch the show, or you just read the manga?
I did both.
Oh, you did both. Oh, dang, you got double. Ooh.
It's just. Oh. It's not something the youth needs.
They don't need Vampire Night. So in some anime shows, like a lot of people, they say that they can like relate to this character, or that this character is like relatable to them. Why do you kind of feel that way? Like why a lot of anime like MCs are relatable to like the everyday person?
I feel like they're relatable to the everyday person because a lot of authors write them to mimic what they want their life to look like.
Right.
So of course they say art imitates reality.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of like characters that are written, they're not necessarily like modeled exactly after the author, but a lot of times authors put their aspirations onto something else because they write their characters as the best version of themselves. And like when they give their characters like drawbacks and stuff like that, it's like the worst parts of themselves that they kind of are hiding from the world, and it's their way of kind of expressing that in an open platform. And I think a lot of people can relate to that because a lot of people don't really want to present the worst parts of themselves to the world. So like to see on screen like a person who is flawed but still progressing is kind of very relatable to the everyday person.
Yeah. So do you kind of feel like that? I'm trying to see how I should word this. Like that anime can kind of, if it's like really relatable, it can kind of put both a positive and negative effect on kind of the way that someone sees themselves, or can it just put like a positive or just a negative effect on like how someone, if that makes sense?
I think it can be both because like there are a lot of like good parts in anime, like looking to family and friends and looking in yourself and finding better parts of yourself, always progressing and making yourself better. But at the same time, there are like some like negative things in animes. Like it, unfortunately, it touches on the fact that there's always going to be evils in the world. And then, of course, some anime writers, they love to make their characters very young, and it targets a certain audience. So, there's always that part. There's nothing that we can do to like stop them from doing that. I mean, if you create your own thing, then that is something that you don't have to subscribe to.
Right.
But I think that's one of the more negative parts of being
Yeah.
an anime fan is that
I
there
agree.
is so much.
I
There's so
bet
much.
There's a lot, and I've thought about that, and I've wondered, like, and I want to ask, like, why do you think, like, a lot of anime creators like do that to a lot of their characters? Like, example, let's say 7 Deadly Sins. That's just off the top of my head. I was gonna say Frieren, but I was like, I don't know. Well, it's Frieren too, but why do a lot of like anime have characters that are like tens or maybe like a million years old, but they literally look like a child, and they put them in suggestive situations like that?
Well, I think that a lot of societies that are like centered around like women kind of being more
Mm-hmm.
reserved and men kind of being more dominant, they kind of focus on like basically when you take the rights of women away,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, and limit them to a certain thing, you're
Mhm.
kind of like making them into a child in a sense. Like you're giving them no option but to follow what you say.
Right.
So like it's a way for them to kind of do that but
Mhm.
not seem weird about it because they're saying, oh, she's a million years old, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But like,
So, yeah, but nah,
We
still, that's what
know.
I'm saying. Like, yeah, but like, still, we know what you're
We
trying
know.
to say. Yeah, we know what you're trying to imply. Like, that doesn't, just because you say like, oh, like they're 1,000 years old or she's been here since the beginning of time. Like, why does she still look that young? And then she's still been here since the beginning of time. So yeah, I completely wholeheartedly agree with that. So out of all the anime that we know of, which one do you think will outlive time? Kind of like in the next 10, 50, 20 or so years, do you think people will still be talking about? I think I already know what you're about to say.
I'm actually not gonna say that.
Oh,
I
I thought you were. I was about to say.
would say that, but
Yeah.
you know, the community knows.
Yeah,
what it is.
they know. They know. I don't. I just don't know. It's never gonna, bro. I just don't know. Like, I really do. And then he's doing like the stuff with putting the treasure chest at the bottom of the ocean and just
Yeah.
like telling them, oh, the ending's it. Like the one is in there. Like, to me, that just kind of seems just scammy. It's just like you're playing in people's faces, but they're so invested into it that like they're not gonna see it as that.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause don't get me wrong. Like I said in like a lot of episodes, I've seen One Piece, but I wasn't really as emotionally invested in it as everyone else. So it's kind of like I see through the show, and I just like, that's why I don't watch it, because it kind of just, everything just seems kind of overhyped, or like just everything just seems kind of over the top with me of why people like really enjoy it, why they say like it's so good, because to me it kind of just looks like your everyday generic anime.
Right.
And then like with the stuff that like Oda is doing, like putting a church has the bomb, like who else is doing that, bro? Like that makes no sense. And you're saying the endings in there, like you want to see if somebody's gonna actually go down to the bottom.
They will.
Yeah, I was about to say. Some
They
people
will.
might. Some people,
Somebody's
some
gonna go
people
down there.
might. They'll get a dive suit and then they'll come back up and it's just like a bag of rocks in there. And it's not like you just did that for nothing. And so I mean, that's why I just feel like it's never gonna end, or even if it does end, it's not gonna be the ending that everybody expects. Like it's gonna be something that you could have done like 700 or like 50 episodes ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's kind of personally I feel. But which anime do you think will outlive? I guess like 50 or so.
I don't think it's like a
Just that people will still be talking about it like 20, 30, or 40.
I think
that we
probably not too.
should.
It's just a classic anime.
Some
I think it's a starter anime for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
like things because I hate
it's
when, like I
very
said before, I hate when
introductory,
things
the
when they like just
storyline, the
come
plot is great.
straight from.
Yeah, it's just
They just
too classic.
take something
to be
and you
forgotten.
blend it up
Yeah,
so
yeah, I
bad
feel
that like you
Naruto-
don't even know. Because I remember
Naruto's done. It's done a lot.
It's just like now,
It's done
they're
a lot
coming
for
out
the
with
it's done a
a
big
E3.
thing for the culture. 'Cause
like
you
they're
can't
coming out
really-
with so many remakes,
Yeah,
like
it's
Coraline,
done
Harry
too much
Potter,
for the culture.
It 3,
It's
and
done
they're
like
doing
this
it
too
because
much,
Welcome to
'cause
Derry
everything-
did so well.
Like I know everybody
But
says like,
Welcome to
oh,
Derry
everything's a
is
JoJo
a
reference because
prequel
JoJo is
to
like
all the
done
other
in, like,
movies.
the real world, but if you look,
the third
everything is
movie
low-key
they're
a Naruto
making,
reference, 'cause
or they're
anytime
quote
you see a
unquote
frog,
making,
oh,
it's
that's
just
Naruto's
it doesn't have
wallet.
anything to do with the
Naruto's
original,
wallet.
like the
Or
old
every time
miniseries
like you
that
see
got
a
turned
snake,
to a
oh
movie,
my,
or it
like,
doesn't have anything
like
to
y'all
do
know
with the Bill
Orochimaru from
Skarsgård
Naruto, or like
the remake. It has nothing
So,
to do
yeah,
with
I
any of
do.
that. It's just
And
like its own thing,
Dark
and that's why I
Versailles
don't
people
understand.
Because
they're saying it's supposed to
Yeah, Naruto right
be
now.
about
down
like,
down the
Richie,
hall, down the straightaway.
or
Oh,
something.
there he is,
I don't
like,
really
bro.
understand
Someone
precisely
said
the freaking main
that
character, but
every black
I don't.
man
Yeah, so
has
I
a
don't really
Costco.
know. I do have another question.
Do you have an Akatsuki?
I don't.
You
So
don't.
how
I
do you
didn't
feel
get. I didn't get
about? Cause I know you
inducted.
said
Get
about. I want you to
inducted.
like kind of, I guess, put more emphasis on like how you feel about
That's
like
actually funny. I was
popularity,
thinking about
like with shows. So do you kind of feel like popularity?
because they have
kills,
this really cool one. It's like kind
a
of
show or
I
like
want a
anime
trench
or just
coat,
like
and
anything
there's
in
this really
general,
cool kind
rather
of
than how it
Akatsuki,
kind of like
trench
drives
coat
it. Do you feel like it kills it like, a lot more than it drives it?
anime guru.
Sometimes it can.
And it's like yes,
Mhm.
Like,
and it's just like it's a really
anime
big one.
gurus
And also
have an
yes,
idea.
anime guru.
Um,
If you use code
and
King Leo 45,
when it
you
starts
get
getting a lot
25%
of
off.
popularity, a lot of times,
You get
well, not a lot of
25%
times, just
off.
sometimes.
But
and author
that's
will abandon
but yeah, they have like a lot of really cool
You
anime
know,
merch, and they have like this
the
really
original
cool Akatsuki
plot
jacket. I look
for what the audience wants.
because there's this BlurredCon video that I was looking at, and it was like the Akatsuki still have a choke. I think I said it to you. It was like
That's my
Akatsuki still have
main
a
thing.
chokehold.
They doing it
The
for
black
us.
The black community. It was like, bro, everybody just has some type
A
of
lot of
Akatsuki
people. That's the same
something.
thing with like Dragon Ball. Like they said,
Yeah.
we're still for the paycheck. And I was
Yeah.
like, I can
Pretty
see it
much.
because
But yeah, I feel like
Super
Naruto. I feel like they
diverge
would.
from, like,
I really want to go back to the thing we were talking
But
about with like the writing and
is
the
there
origin,
anything
like
else
the originality of
that
stuff,
you
because
want
that's
to
like.
say? Or is
So
there
how do you
anything
think? Like, what kind of
anything that you
impact?
wanna
Well,
add
obviously
to
it's had a big
as we
impact,
come to the closing?
but like, would you say we're in the
Episode
golden
23.
or like the peak age of anime right now? Or well, I guess it's might be an obvious answer or not. Or do you think anime still has a
Yeah, I
long
do
way to
feel- I
go
do
before
feel-
it
I
really
enjoy
hits its
episodes.
peak?
I do
Like
enjoy episodes. I feel
it
like we
really
get a
hits
lot
the
of
span
good
of how
points.
far it can go.
We have a lot of
I
good
think we do
conversation.
have a little bit of a ways
Again,
before
I
anime does hit
appreciate
its
you
peak
for
because
coming
like
on
there are a
to
lot of
our
great animes,
podcast.
but it
Um,
really goes back to
Yeah, the
originality. Like
originality.
the plot lines will be
It's not
great,
really-
but
I'm not
it's
saying that
a
it's
lot of
completely
the
gone, but,
same
you know,
rhetoric, and I think like
It's a lot of the same.
we're not really,
Right.
you know,
Um,
the autism
Well,
back.
it's not carbon copy, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't think it's like a copy and paste, but I do
Yeah, the
feel
originality.
like that
It's not
we
really. I'm not
should,
saying that it's completely gone, but
keep
you know,
some
it's a lot of the
originality
same.
from,
Right.
like things, because I hate when, like I said before, I hate when things
It's
when
not
they like
carbon
just
copy,
come
but it's like,
straight from
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't think
They
it's like a
just
copy and
take
paste.
something and you
but I
blend
do
it up
feel
so
like
bad that like you don't even know. Because I
that we
remember,
should,
because just like now
keep
they're coming
some
out with It 3.
originality from.
Like they're coming
Like
out with
things
so
because
many
I
reasons,
don't-
like Coraline,
I hate when, like
Harry
I said before, I
Potter,
hate when things
It
when
3,
they like just
and they're
come
doing it because Welcome to
straight
Derry
from-
did so well.
Like they just
But Welcome
take
to
something
Derry
and you blend
is
it up
a
so
prequel
bad that
to
like you
all
don't
the
even
other
know. Because I
movies,
remember,
hypothetically.
because just
But
like
the
now
new-
they're coming out
the third
with
movie they're
It
making,
3.
or they're quote unquote
like they're
making,
coming out with so
it's
many
just-
remakes. Like
it doesn't have anything
Coraline,
to do with the
Harry
original,
Potter,
like the
It
old
3,
miniseries.
and they're
that got
doing
turned
it
to a
because
movie, or it
Welcome
doesn't
to
have
Derry
anything to do
did
with the
so
Bill
well.
Skarsgård, the remake.
But
It has
Welcome
nothing
to
to do with any of
Derry
that. It's just like its
It's
own
a
thing,
prequel
and that's why I
to
don't
all the
understand.
other movies.
Yeah.
Because they're saying it's supposed to.
But the
be
the
about,
third
like,
movie they're
Richie
making,
like
or they're
him or
quote
something,
unquote
and I don't
making,
really understand
it's just
exactly
it doesn't have anything to do with the original,
But
like the old
I don't-
miniseries.
yeah, so I don't really
or it
know.
doesn't have anything to do with the Bill
I
Skarsgård
do have another
the remake. It
question
has
for you.
nothing to do with any of that. It's just like its own
so how do
thing,
you
and that's why I
feel
don't understand.
About, because I know
'Cause
you
they're saying
said
it's
about, I want
supposed
you
to
like, kind of,
Be about
I guess,
like
put more emphasis on
Richie
like how you
or,
feel about like
him or something,
popularity,
and I don't really understand. 'cause
like
it's
with
like,
shows. So do you kind of feel like
But
popularity
I
kills?
don't. Yeah, so I don't really know.
Like a show or like an anime or just like
I do have
anything in
another
general,
question for you.
rather
So
than how it kind of like drives it.
so
I
how
feel
do
like it
you
kills it, like, a
feel
lot more than it drives it?
about? Because I know you said about. I
Sometimes
want you to like
it
kind of.
can,
I guess put more
like,
emphasis on like how you feel about like
most
popularity,
animes, you know, they start
like
off
with shows. So
like
do you
this,
kind of feel like
um,
popularity
and
kills
when it starts
like
getting
a show or
lot
like
of
an anime
popularity,
or
a
just
lot
like
of
anything in
times,
general,
well, not a
rather
lot
than
of
how
times,
it
just
kind of like
sometimes,
drives it? Do you
an
feel like it
author
kills
will
it like a
abandon,
lot more
like,
than it drives it?
know,
Sometimes it can,
the original
because
plot
like
for what the audience wants.
most animes, you know, they start out with an idea.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying.
when
That's
it
what.
starts
That's my
getting
main
a lot of
thing. Are they
popularity,
doing
a
it
lot of
for
times,
us, or are they doing it for
well, not
the
a lot of
money?
times, just sometimes.
Because a
An
lot of
author
people,
will
that's the same thing
abandon,
with like Dragon Ball. Like they said,
you know,
Super was just
the
they were
original
just doing it for the
plot
paycheck. And I was
for
like,
what the
I can
audience
see it
wants,
because Super it,
because of the
it diverged
profitability
from, like,
of
the
it.
whole plot.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I'm saying. That's what.
Is there
Like, that's my main
anything
thing.
else
Are they doing it
that
for
you
us, or are
would
they
like to
doing it
say?
for the
Is there
money?
anything else that you- or
A lot of
anything that
people.
you
That's the
wanna
same thing with
ask
like
me
Dragon Ball. Like
as
they
we come
said,
to the
Super
closing
was just they were just doing it for the paycheck. And I was
episode
like,
23.
I can see it because Super it diverged from like the whole plot.
Yeah.
But
I feel like, you know.
is there anything else that you
Yeah, I do.
like
I
to
do.
say?
I enjoy
Anything
episodes. I do
else
enjoy
that you,
episodes. I
or
feel like we
anything
get
that
a
you
lot
want to
of good
ask me
points and
as we
we
come
have a
to
lot
the
of good
closing?
conversation. But again,
of
I
episode
appreciate
23.
you for coming on
No.
to the podcast and letting me host you.
Yeah,
I hope
I feel like,
on
you know,
for a third time. If
it's good.
Yeah, I do. I do. I enjoy episodes. I do enjoy
But
episodes. I feel like we
don't
get a
forget
lot
to
of
like,
good points
subscribe, and
and we
comment.
have a lot of good conversation.
And see
But
you guys in the next one.
again, I appreciate you for coming on
What's
to
the Krabby Patty secret
podcast
for?
and letting me
What's
host
the
you.
Krabby Patty
And I hope we
secret?
can have you
Like
on
that?
a third time.
That was
Yeah.
actually amazing. I love us. I do love our episodes.
I'm glad
That's
you
my
do.
fault. That's your fault.
But
It's mine.
don't forget to
It's
like,
already in the chat.
subscribe, and comment.
Yeah, watch the
And
phone.
see you guys in the next one.
No, it actually didn't. Let's go.